think about what you ate over the last weekend. What foods did you eat, and where did they come from? Whether it was restaurants, grocery stores, if you cooked them, if someone else cooked them for you. So just take 1 minute and tell us about those things. So we're going to start over here with you. Your name and what you ate over the last week.
My name is Claudia Young, and I've been eating a lot of pizza lately. We're opening a pizza place right here in Waterloo, and thank you. The name of the place is called Citizen Pie.
Just make sure you're talking to the microphone.
And as far as if we are talking about where our food comes from, as far as the pizza that we're going to be
what you ate
serving,
this weekend. Just what you ate this weekend.
Well, it was pretty much what I ate this weekend was pizza, because we're building the place, so we're there from morning until night, and the oven is running, and that's what we're eating a lot of. That and the cheesecake that we're going to have there, which I'm constantly baking and sampling to everybody. So for those of you that are in the neighborhood and are stopping by, please come in. But what we ate, I mean, the flour and the tomatoes, it all comes from Italy. And we source our ingredients really carefully, and we really care about what we're doing there as far as having a product that we're going to be able to put out that is a quality product at a price that's affordable for the neighborhood.
Okay, we're going to have to keep it going. So.
Yeah, so anyway, on that note.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I was bad this weekend. Saturday, I didn't eat dinner, and Sunday, I had KFC. But my refrigerator's broken right now. That's my excuse. But yeah, it hasn't been a good week for me. But.
Did you eat those things from the community?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and I'm in the middle of moving, so it's been all restaurant eating and on-the-go eating all weekend, and definitely not really concerned with trying to pick out the healthy things when I'm at the restaurant. I was like, ooh, mac and cheese, yeah, great. So it was all local restaurants in the area as well.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Smith. I ate typical breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. Ate at church yesterday, so we had a typical soul food meal. And that was about it.
Do you know where the food came from?
Local. We did get the vegetables from the food bank on 152nd.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Charlotte Eifeles, and being that I'm recently diagnosed gluten-free and dairy-free, I have an awfully hard time finding stuff in the neighborhood that is gluten-free and dairy-free. But I managed to find, I did get some bread from the Coit Road Market. A lady there sells homemade bread that was very good. And I ate a lot of protein, turkey and beef sometimes, and chicken. And it's all locally, though, that I get my produce also, because I can eat that.
Good evening. My name is Kevin, and this weekend I ate what I normally do, a substantial breakfast, so that carries me through the day. And from time to time, I eat food from our local garden in the area, mainly vegetables, and it's really good.
Are you vegetarian or?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I
eat everything.
When you're not getting vegetables from the garden, where do you buy your food?
At local stores. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm Ruby Abrams, and I like to cook, so I'm not too good at staying on course, but I usually have my normal breakfast. But Sunday, I had greens from the garden. I had sweet potatoes. I had fresh turnips, and I had the meat was chicken, baked chicken, and I had fresh sliced tomatoes, and all that kind of stuff. That was good.
Good evening. My name is Stan Hall. Saturday, I had a bowl of oatmeal, some raisins, and some it was beef bacon. That was for breakfast. Sunday, I had another bowl of oatmeal and some beef bacon from the same restaurant, Shea Deli on St. Clair. So I kind of just, you know, I'm on the move a lot, work a lot. So I eat a real light breakfast. I eat a lot of vegetables when I'm at home, broccoli, green beans, and that's about it for the weekend.
Hello, my name's Linda. Saturday for breakfast, I had a veggie omelet using veggies from the garden. I've got a kitchen full of tomatoes right now. So this weekend's been mostly grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches, tomato soup. And normally, like, I buy locally from Aldi's, or if I need something to save a lot, but I pretty much cook a lot, so, and use the stuff from the garden, and I don't eat red meat, so that's about it.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Sweeney. I think I started out my Friday night with pasta and salad and sausage meatballs at a church fundraiser. I had potato leek soup that one of my neighbors made on Saturday for lunch. I had sweet potato chicken and broccoli on Saturday night, another homemade meal. Sunday, I put together an arugula homegrown tomatoes. I have 14 tomato plants. They're all ripening. And cheese sandwich. And then I met friends Sunday night for pizza and salad. And unfortunately passed up a church meal at St. Paul's A&M Zion on East 55th because I could smell it cooking, but I had to leave.
Hello, I'm also Linda. I'm Zoltan Wood. I know that I had eggs from Coit Road Farmers Market, Carousel Farms from Windsor, and they're hormone-free and I believe cage-free. Yes. And most of my vegetables are from there. I made a butternut squash and orange juice chicken soup, and that was really good, but I'm the only one in my house who will eat it. So I get to eat really well, and it's mostly local, grown, and there we go.
And before we make this turn, can we get the people in the back as well? Sorry. Thanks.
Do you need me to stand?
That would be helpful, sure.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Natalie Williams, and this weekend, Friday night, we started out with pizzas. I work on the at the hospital, local hospital, on West 25th Street, and they have a great pizzeria across the street, so we had pizza Friday. Saturday, I had a family party, so I was able to fix for breakfast scrambled eggs with cheese and some toast from the local Dave's supermarket. And that evening, I was able to have chicken, macaroni and cheese, green beans, yams. And then yesterday was Sunday. I was in church all day, so I did a KFC run as well.
Hello, my name is Hazel. Most of my meals start in the morning with coffee and bread, toast, garlic toast, rolls, and it's coffee. Lunch is whatever I choose to eat or not eat. Saturday dinner, I had McNuggets and fries. Yesterday, I made a really nice taco salad. And that was it. Oh, and I get most of my food from the food banks or the local grown vegetables that they have here in the city. And the meats I get from like either Dave's or Mark's.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brent Staples. I've been eating sweet potatoes, beets, greens, a lot of vegetables from the food banks. I don't think I want to see another sweet potato or beet. I've been trying to get rid of them.
Hi, my name is Thelma Green. Friday I had fish and a salad. Saturday morning I had, what did I have? Sausage, eggs and grits. Can't you tell? And Saturday my great-granddaughter had a skating party and I had pizza. I don't like pizza. And Sunday, I ate at church. So that's it.
Hi, my name is Sasha Hope. Friday night, I ate out with some friends and family, sushi downtown. Saturday, I had a potluck in Parma as part of a service project. We had macaroni and cheese and some kale dip that I made with kale from my garden and carrots that were from Dave's. And then Saturday night, I ate at the Beachland Ballroom, actually in the tavern. And then Sunday, I made a soup with vegetables from a friend's farm in New Hampshire and vegetables probably from Dave's. Yeah.
My name is Molly Rorvig, and Friday night we went out for dinner with family and friends downtown. Saturday I worked, so I think I had yogurt in the morning and then fast food lunch, and for dinner it was salad, which was all locally grown. Most of it was from Coit or local gardens in our neighborhood. Sunday morning we had eggs and toast. Again, the eggs were from Coit Road Market. We were at a festival on Sunday afternoon, so I had a hot dog. I'm learning now that that was really bad for me. And for dinner, we had pasta, broccoli, which was local, and salad again.
Good evening. My name is Dennis. I don't remember what I had Friday night, so I'm gonna start with Saturday. Saturday morning, I had pancakes. Saturday morning, skipped it. Yesterday morning, I had oatmeal. Saturday evening, I made an Indian dish called chana masala. Last night, I had quinoa, and both days, like in the middle of the day, I just ate a lot of fruits. Pretty much. I'm a vegan, so that's pretty much throughout the day. I pretty much just eat a lot of fruits. I just snack on fruits all day. And everything pretty much came from Dave's or Mark's. I also go to local gardens like Cavadas over on Nottingham, but everything pretty much came from Dave's or Mark's.
Great. And yeah, thanks for mentioning that you're vegan. If you do follow any particular diet or something like that, we definitely want to hear from you and the challenges that diet might face or pose in the community. So bring that up in the next round. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I start most days off with a bowl of oatmeal, some bananas in it. Follow mostly a vegetarian diet, but it's not very strict. And this weekend there was a lot of socializing, a lot of Halloween parties, so there was a good amount of pizza, and I think I had some vegetarian chili and some homemade guacamole. A lot of the vegetables we get are either from our garden or from the local CSA. And then Dave's or trips out to Heinen's. That's about it.
Hi, I'm Mike. I think on Friday I had some pizza also. Normally on the weekends I'll eat a bowl of cereal, a bagel, some fruit if I eat at home, or I might go out and have an omelet. I think for lunch that day I ate rice and beans at my mother's house. And last night I also ate at the Beachland. I'm a vegetarian also.
Hello, I'm Marche. I'm also a vegetarian, and I'm new to the neighborhood, and I find that I'm from the Akron area. I find that sometimes things aren't as convenient to find here if you're on the go, because I don't have as much time to cook as I would like, because I do multiple freelancing gigs. But anyway, Friday we had we're a couple, so a lot of our things will repeat. Friday we had squash. You made it. You can talk about it.
So I'm Kristen Duvernay.
Friday night we had acorn squash, which we actually didn't get locally because there's such a challenge with finding good produce in the area. I don't go to the Coit Road Market. Cavadas I've had challenges with. So typically I go to Heinen's in Willoughby, or I go to Trader Joe's out in Beechwood to be able to get produce, or the West Side Market if time allows. So Friday night we had a squash with apples and vegan sausage sort of mixed up in a thing. Saturday I was at a leadership program all day, so I had food provided for me there. I think she ate a lot of soup, vegetable soup that we made again with a lot of that produce from Heinen's and Trader Joe's. And then we went to La Fiesta in Richmond Heights. And then Sunday, you made omelets again with a lot of veggies, again from Trader Joe's and Heinen's. And then for dinner, we were out of town, so we ate, again, vegetables, big surprise, outside of the area.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm David Mitchell. I normally cook, but this particular weekend was a quick road trip for the wife and I. Friday night, I bought pizza locally. Saturday morning, ate on the road in Erie, Pennsylvania at Cracker Barrel, so that, was hash browns, eggs, bacon, sausage, and the normal things like that, and coffee. Sunday, ate at the casino because I like to bet on the sure thing, and that's the buffet. So I don't gamble, so we went for the sure thing, which was the buffet, and it was excellent. Had some seafood, Newburgh, some mussels, some fried smelts, cream brulee, just assorted menu there. Sunday morning was a bummer. Ate at IHOP. We'll never do it again. It was so had a typical breakfast there that was not well. So usually, again, I normally eat, and my diet is seafood. I eat it.
Thank you, David.
My name is Melanie. I eat vegan, and as often as possible, I also eat organic. And you put those two things together, and I don't eat out very much. And even though I don't have a ton of time because I work a lot, I try to cook as often as I can, and I do my grocery shopping kind of in bulk. Most of my food comes from Whole Foods and Heinen's. And this weekend, I had a couple apples. I made a couple smoothies with bananas and spinach and coconut oil and hemp hearts and chia seeds and hemp protein powder, and I throw all kinds of good stuff into those. I made my own pizza, actually, this weekend. Fragacio's, that sells at the West Side Market, also sells their dough at Heinen's and Whole Foods. And I get their organic herb dough. And I made a pizza with tomatoes and onions and mushrooms and Daya vegan cheese. And then yesterday, I was at a friend's house for a 4-year-old's birthday party. The hosts and the birthday girl are all vegan, and a lot of the other people there were vegan as well. So I had a vegan cheese tofu dip with tortilla chips and vegan ranch dip with veggies and fruit and vegan cupcakes and vegan cake balls. A little too much sugar yesterday. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Darlene English, and Friday night I had a birthday dinner at the Bourbon Street Barrel Room in Tremont. Saturday, I skipped breakfast and took my son to an early birthday party, so I ate pizza at the birthday party. And And then Saturday evening, I went to a clam bake at a friend's house, so I had clams and chicken and a bunch of other side dishes that I can't remember right now. And then Sunday, I had sausage and toast and coffee for breakfast, and then my husband made a lentil soup and baked chicken for dinner. So, and I usually grocery shop at Aldi's and a little bit of Dave's, a little bit of Giant Eagle, a little bit of Heinen's, so kind of all, and Cavadas.
Great. So from what I'm getting, you can hold on to that just for a moment. There's a huge range in this room of where people are getting their food and what they're eating. And we want to break that down into two separate, for the next half hour, 40 minutes, break that into two separate conversations. And the first question we're sort of posing, which a lot of people have already answered, but we want to delve into it a little bit deeper, is when you're looking for food in the community or out of the community, where do you end up going for it? Like, ideally, where do you get your food from? And so there were some people that, I mean, you spent the entire weekend out of town, but maybe if you're looking for food in where you live, where do you go looking for it?
Do you mean fast food or
food that you eat?
Grocery shopping.
Whatever you're eating. So if you're eating fast food, great. I think is it Marché? Yeah. You mentioned that it's not convenient to get food in the community. So if you want to start off, if you're looking for food, where do you get it? And then when it's not convenient, what do you end up doing?
I end up just going to surrounding areas like East Lake and Beechwood. I attend church in South Euclid, so I end up going there a lot. I really don't eat locally that much because my perception as kind of being an outsider is that there isn't anywhere to eat quickly, especially if I'm trying to eat vegetarian on a budget, fast, convenient. If I'm trying to combine all of those factors, my perception, not being that familiar with the area, is that that's not possible, at least within my dietary restrictions. So I end up just leaving. And when I go to Dave's, a lot of the times the produce doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's fresh, and so I end up I don't eat a lot of processed foods. So if I go there and the produce doesn't look good, then I don't end up purchasing that, and I just go for it elsewhere.
Okay. And for anybody else, just raise your hand. And yeah, Linda, do you want to?
So, Coit Road Farmers Market's right down the road, 152nd at Coit Road. I actually get as much produce that's sustainable, not officially organic, but I try to get almost all organic. And there's a couple of vendors that are no chemicals, and they're picked that day. So go inside. There's a couple of people, and they're open every Saturday. So I get most of my produce all year round from Coit Road. They have, they bring in Amish cheese and you know, the free-range eggs and stuff, but there's so much there that I don't have to go. I do go to Trader Joe's because Dave's not so much. But Aldi's actually has a little bit of organic stuff too. So Aldi's is easier and it's fresher than Dave's to me. But there's so much good stuff at Coit Road that I don't have to get much from anywhere else. But when it's off season, they have greenhouses so that you can get still a lot year round. So easy every Saturday.
And you mentioned farmers market, and I think a perception about farmers markets is there's a price difference between there and a place like Aldi's.
A lot cheaper.
So there's
and
no
you get
price
way
deterrent.
More.
There's no price deterrent for
No.
buying food at these places.
Way less, and there's baked goods, and they're so inexpensive and fresh, and all the ingredients are listed, and you can actually order stuff that you know. There's the gluten-free lady, but there's also you can get organic, and it's. I can't talk more wonderfully, but I do want to add that I went to Scotty's on a date night. So we actually ate it out at a restaurant, Scotty's, fried zucchini, and Tommy's turkey dogs at our school function, so I had to add that. Anyway.
Did you pass this over?
I've found out that Aldi's has a really good variety, and their vegetables are fresh, and they're less expensive than like Trader Joe's or some. Besides the market, if you can't get to the market, you know, except on Saturday. And I've found out that the gluten-free is what I'm looking for, and they have a whole shelf full of all kinds of gluten-free pasta. I even got a can of chicken noodle soup that's gluten-free from Aldi's.
Did anybody else? You can pass. Here, I'll pass this one back. Sasha.
So for the majority of the time that I live in Collinwood, I was going to school, working 2 jobs, had an internship. So what I found really difficult about Coit Road Market and Cavadas, which I love to support, my schedule didn't allow me to schedule in grocery shopping time. So I found myself shopping in a lot of other neighborhoods that I happened to be passing throughout the day, whether I was downtown, if I was on the east side or west side. I wanted to support those places that I believe in, but it's not viable for somebody with my lifestyle.
What was that the hardest thing about food shopping? What's the hardest thing about food shopping in the neighborhood?
I guess time. Dave's closes earlier than I even start cooking dinner, and there wasn't much there that was in the recipes that I would have liked to make. Okay. Yeah, just quality, and even when stuff is in season, you're seeing stuff that's shipped in from places that are halfway across the world.
Did you want? Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm a precinct committee person for Mike Palenzik in Ward 8, and we're trying to open up the East Side Market again. And I want to see organic food come to the East Side Market, because a lot of people want to start eating organic food. You know, get a little more healthier for the community, for the senior citizen, which I'm one. So,
what gets in the way of that from your perspective?
Well, you just got to get to the right people to get the organic food into the community. You know, I don't know if it's the farmers or whoever's growing the organic food. You know, we're going to try to get them into the part of it into the East Side Market when they decide to open it back up again, which will be soon.
I did see a few heads nodding when he mentioned organic food coming back into the community. So if there's anybody that would be willing to talk about where they go in the community now for their organic food if they wanted to.
I am not currently doing it, but I have been a member of Fresh Fork Market, but with Trevor Clatterbuck, which is a community-supported agriculture. I found that for my $25 a week, I was getting a lot of food that I would have to either give to my neighbors or friends to share because I couldn't possibly eat it all. I mean, sometimes you would one great thing was they would give you recipes online, so you'd know how to cook something unusual that you'd never had before. So I was introduced to a lot of great vegetables, and I think Mike and Danielle use Fresh Food Market still, so I'll let you talk.
Yeah, that's another good option for getting produce, organic produce. We had the same difficulty, especially with 2 young kids who were a little less adventurous as far as new vegetables. We did have some trouble going through a lot of squash and eggplant. We just couldn't make it through, so I think we might be taking a break from the CSA. But it has been, I recommend it for people who can actually make use of all that you get in a week.
For about 7 years, I was a volunteer for City Fresh, which is also a community-supported agriculture, and I also got like more bok choy than I knew what to do with, and like carloads full of kale. And so I took some time off because now I get to pick what I want, and it's just as fresh and it's economical. So it's a really good, City Fresh is like the only social justice CSA. They offer discounts for food stamps. And they are in the city of Cleveland, so, and it's mostly, I think, June through end of October, so, but they have a couple of holiday shares. So it's a really good deal, especially if you're on food stamps. But it was too much we have 3 people in our family, so we just couldn't. We ended up gave a lot of it away to our neighbors too, so.
Is there anybody from this side of the table that has not spoken yet? And I'm looking, in this corner. Where do you get your food from?
Well, I like to go to Aldi's and Mark's a lot. If I need something specific that I know they won't have, I have to go to Giant Eagle, usually in Willoughby Hills or Willowick, out in the suburbs. I kind of try to avoid Dave's. They don't have good fresh bread. They don't have good produce. It's the closest thing, by far, to where I live, but I can't imagine what it would, I would just hate if I didn't have a car, if I couldn't drive, I would hate to be stuck going to Dave's, like feeling that I had to go there. So I'm glad that I can have some options. And then over the summer, Kayla and we run a community garden, so we try to grow as much as we can and share what we can. Some seasons are better than others, but yeah. So I don't know. I just don't like Dave's.
That was obviously a very interesting reaction. We'll get to you in not one that I would have expected. So it does provide a good segue into the next section. I'll give you the mic for your final response, but then we kind of want to get into that sort of what challenges do you find in the community, and not to pick on Dave's, but it sounds like a lot of people would like to pick on Dave's. So to find out the sort of what the problems are that you're facing. So.
Well, I guess my response will cover both the challenges and the organic question. Part of the reason I like shopping at Heinen's and Whole Foods, and I know a lot of people call Whole Foods whole paycheck because they get this impression that it's really expensive. But the thing is, Whole Foods has their own line of a lot of products. I also try not to eat a lot of processed foods, but I do need things like peanut butter and salad dressing and cooking oil, and Whole Foods has recently even expanded their home brand line to include even more organic items. So I'm getting these giant containers of organic spinach for $5 and 5 or 6 pounds of carrots for $4, and just really affordable and quality produce. I've been in Collinwood now for 11 years, and when I first moved here, I was vegetarian. I went vegan 4 years ago, and I did shop at Dave's for a while, but I went vegan around the time I started eating organic and finding out the benefits of doing so, and I suddenly realized that Dave's had pretty much nothing for me to eat if I was going to make those choices. I also tried Save a Lot, but they don't have any organic produce, and those things, those food choices and the lack of options in those locations were what forced me out of the neighborhood to get food. I even order some things online now. Like I said, I eat a lot of nuts and seeds as a vegan, and superfoods, and I tend to buy those online from an online market.
So there are a couple things in those two comments that I think might bear a little bit of analysis. And one is, Brittany said, it was Brittany, right? Brittany says if she was stuck here, it would be really difficult to shop at Dave's. And it's one, you can go to other communities to get your food, but I know Whole Foods is 25 minutes away maybe, is that accurate? So what are the challenges then for other people? And you also mentioned making a change in health and deciding that you wanted to eat healthier. Are there challenges to eating healthier in the community as well? So, and you put your hand up, so we'll let you.
I was just going to say that my youngest son has just been diagnosed with like all kind of food allergies, and so he can't have dairy and a bunch of other stuff. So to find things that he can eat, I mean, once I had kids, then I wanted to try to eat healthier, so I was trying to get organic and things like that. And I didn't mention Costco, but sometimes I get stuff from Costco also. And for some reason, it seems like the Dave's on Payne has fresher produce than the Dave's here. And the Dave's on Payne is closer to my job, so sometimes I may get produce from there. But I, too, am not excited about the Dave's experience. And I know for me, part of it does have to do with the aesthetic and how it feels and how it smells. And I mean, like Whole Foods is just beautiful, and Heinen's is just, like, it's just, I just feel like, when I walk through there, it's like I want to buy everything. Like, it makes me want to buy everything because it's just so pretty and clean. And that's not necessarily the experience at Dave's, which, you know, really makes me sad because that is our neighborhood grocery store. And so I really wish that it was better in some way. But I do have a really hard time finding things that my son can eat, like to find bread that doesn't have soy in it. He has a soy allergy. I do have to go to Whole Foods. I do have to go to Heinen's. There's a place called Weber's that in Euclid, and my mom buys bread whenever she's around there. She'll buy him bread. So we'll get things from there too. So the healthy, the organic, that is a challenge here.
Okay. Other challenges?
Something to add based on your question. I don't know what the current statistic is, but over the years I've heard on occasion there's a fairly high percentage of residents in North Collinwood that don't have cars. And that's usually come up in the context of the bus routes that the RTA has and people getting in and out of the neighborhood. But that obviously also gives people a disadvantage to going outside of the neighborhood to get food. And I think that's really unfair because I think there should be healthy food available for everyone in every neighborhood. And I've seen that as a big challenge for many years now that I don't see a solution to happening yet, and I don't really know what that solution is.
And Tuvi, you mentioned that as well. Could you talk about, and you specifically said you go out of the community to purchase your food.
And I really don't like going outside of the community. I try to do the majority of the things that I do in my daily life right here in the neighborhood because I think it's important to support my own community, but it becomes challenging when it's an issue of my health and wellness. Then I mean, Dave's is not up to par. I've seen like bugs in the produce and things like that, so that's just not my scene. The Coit Farmers Market, I haven't been there, but it's only on Saturdays, and very often because of my job, I'm traveling and things like that, and I'm not available on Saturdays, so for it to only be open for that window makes it pretty non-accessible for me. There is another place in the neighborhood, but I prefer not to go there because of some of the things I've seen them display. But so it's just, for me, I have the accessibility and the privilege to be able to leave the neighborhood. But when you look at Dave's, it's really upsetting that there's a lot of public housing and there's a lot of senior housing, and people don't have cars and they're having to walk there or take wheelchairs there and things like that. And I can only imagine what that would feel like to have those be your only options.
I think another challenge that people aren't really discussing are for people like me who unfortunately don't like to cook. Not saying that I can't, but it's not something that is my first priority or my greatest joy. And so getting access to food quickly that you don't have to prepare is often something people neglect when they talk about healthy eating. Because I don't always want to go and like get a head of lettuce and chop up cucumbers and then cook tofu and make a beautiful salad. Right. Sometimes I would like to walk in somewhere and get a wrap or get a prepared salad or get something that is healthy and vegetarian but also in the neighborhood. And I feel like that's a challenge.
And Dennis, I'm going to call you out for the vegan perspective on this. When you were talking about the quinoa that you ate, and some of the other things. Did you get those here, or did you have to go out?
I think I got the quinoa from Whole Foods. I didn't mention that. I go there for mostly specialty things, and quinoa, I've gotten it from, I might have gotten it from Mark's before, but I'm pretty sure I got that from Whole Foods. That's where I generally would get that at. As far as Dave's, like, besides just the problems with Dave's in general, it's a big, somebody said something about the one on Payne. It's a big disparity in a lot of, it's a huge disparity between the one right here and the one on 222nd in Lakeshore. So, like, when I say, like, I'll get a lot of stuff from there, but like, whether it be this one or that one, like, especially at certain times of the year, you almost have to go to the one on 222nd. If you confine to Lakeshore, you got to go to the one up there at certain times of the year, because especially like with greens, and at certain times of the year, the greens right here will be terrible, and like up there, it's just a huge difference. Even it's the same season, of course, but wherever they getting theirs from, it'd be a whole different world. But I kind of got off track, I think, somewhere. But
so besides that, and as a vegan or just eating generally, what other challenges then do you see in getting food in the Collinwood community?
Everybody mentioned organic, so I definitely say that. I actually, I'll eat organic when I can. It's not like my food doesn't have to be organic. As long as it's not GMO, I'm good. But my food doesn't have to be organic. But yeah, that's definitely one thing, though. But let me think. I had another idea a moment ago.
We'll come back to you then.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you. So there was, Kevin, did you mention that you were eating, was that you that was eating the sweet potatoes or the? No. Okay. Could you, and you were getting them from local stores and the food bank. So there were a few people that mentioned that they got food from the food bank. And so I kind of wanted to tease that out and see if that was a good resource for you, or if there were challenges at getting the food from the food bank as well. So if we could pass one over.
Yeah, sometimes it's a challenge, the food banks. Food will be very fresh. A lot of times it come in pre-froze. When it come in frozen, it doesn't last long. It looks good, but it don't hold up good. That's with everything. You got to get it. When you get it, you got to eat it. Get rid of it fast, because it'll go bad on you.
Okay. Pass this one over then.
This summer, I got a lot of fruits and vegetables from the food banks in different areas that were giving them out. And what I would do was go home and process them for the freezer. So I cleaned them up and put them in freezer bags. So now I'm stocked up for the whole winter. And they gave away a lot of potatoes. I looked online, how do you process and freeze potatoes? And you can. I didn't know that. Only thing I couldn't find out what to do with was cabbage. Can't freeze cabbage. It gets watery, so it's not, yeah. But otherwise, it was good. I have a lot of stuff stocked up.
Okay. So there were a number of diets in the room as well, where people were experimenting with different things that they were doing, from gluten-free, otherwise. Is there anything in the community that prevents you from pursuing diets that you might otherwise want to try? Like, or do you find challenges to the diets that you'd like to try that sort of prevent you from doing that? And for anybody that's trying to eat healthier, we'll open that up. So.
Good evening. My husband kind of set me up. He made me move from over there over here. But I kind of shop all over. I may go out to farm places like in Medina, because I have family out there, and I'll shop there, bring in produce. And if you ever want fresh, good-looking greens during the holiday season, go to Family Foods. Their greens are awesome. They're better than Dave's. And the Dave's on Lakeshore and the Dave's on 222nd. You'd be surprised. But as far as dietary, we have, well, I have a restriction because I can no longer eat seafood, but my husband does, so that's a disadvantage to me. So I'm like cooking sometimes 2 different meals. So it just depends.
Okay. Linda?
My husband's been a vegetarian. We've been married almost 20 years. I gave up red meat about 18 years ago, and we try to look for turkey or fish or fowl that's either not pumped with chemicals or sulfites. And so we do go to Trader Joe's and try to get some clean fish or fowl, but I wish we could eat more fish, but we don't trust the fish from the lake. And we have family in Maine, and boy, we only trust, the fish off of the coast of Maine, but I wish we could eat more fish, but I don't trust the chemicals and the heavy metals. So that's a bummer.
Oh, Dennis, do you have?
I didn't, yeah.
Do you remember? Okay. I thought she was handing it to you.
With organic stuff, just the pricing a lot of times, the gap between, I forget what the word is for non-organic, but the gap between that and organic a lot of times. But then the ability to get everything from one place. I try to minimize how many stores I got to go to. I don't like having to spend like a whole day grocery shopping, like when you off from work, having to spend a whole day grocery shopping. So I try to minimize that as best as possible. And
so what solution do you have for something like that?
it's different. And like I said, as far as the whole Dave's and Mark's things, it's not necessarily the Dave's right here or even the Mark's up there. It's just wherever I'm at. Like it could be Dave's in Richmond. And that one is better. The one on 222nd is better than the one right here. The one on Richmond is better than the one on 222nd. And like I might be at the Marks on the west side. It's just wherever I'm at. But I try not to. I try not to go to too many stores, and like certain stores, like I said, it's only just for specialty things like Whole Foods, aside from just the price. But then having to go all the way over there. And one thing I wanted to ask, like we never really defined what we was talking about as far as local. Do we mean just Collinwood, or do we mean just like East Side, just Cleveland, like places that's locally owned by Cleveland people?
I think it's for the people that are in this room. You're in the community, and I think it's an open definition. But we're looking more for where the people in this room are getting their food, and it could be. I mean, local could be in Collinwood, but it also could be the West Side Market if that's where you yourself are getting your food.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know. Just that it helped me kind of better answer some things.
So one thing about that, and the price is an issue. Is price a difficulty for getting food in Collinwood? When you're looking for food, do you feel like price is something that stops you from eating certain things that you otherwise might be interested in eating?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. Here is more so the quality, but in certain parts of the city it is. But I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So,
Linda, real quick, and then we're going to get to a few other people.
Sorry. So like, I don't mind drinking like Dave's milk, if it's not the hormone stuff, but we try to shop organic for my daughter, and the Dave's occasionally has what we need, but it's like $5 a half gallon, and Aldi's is like $3.50 a half gallon. So you have to drive to 222nd to get the cheaper gas, gas being the factor. So the local is way more expensive. So that makes me not want to go.
Okay, you had your hand up earlier, so.
Eating vegan and organic, I probably spend a little bit more on groceries than the average person, but I try to be smart about it at the same time. That's why I mentioned getting like the store brand organic items whenever possible. They're often cheaper than the conventional version of whatever that isn't organic and isn't the brand name. But to me, the trade-off is that I'm very healthy. I'm not at risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. I mean, I eat that way also because I have a concern for the environment and the way animals are treated in our country on factory farms. But I think if I spend a little bit more, I don't drink as much as I used to, so I don't spend as much on alcohol. You know, I was able to balance it out. I was able to balance it out because I decided to make what I was eating a priority. And that's part of my health, along with getting exercise and taking care of my mental health. And I feel like I'm doing things that benefit me now and will also benefit me in the future.
Okay.
So I don't mind spending a little bit more on food.
Great. And David, I'm going to ask you to give your 2 cents, because you did mention a number of places that were out of the community. When you're here, what challenges do you face when you're getting food? And then maybe is price a challenge in any instance?
No, price is not a challenge. I do shop at Giant Eagles, West Side Market. Price-wise, no, it's not a challenge. I have a decent job. If I want it, I'm going to buy it. You know, I don't spend my money on other vices, so I love to eat, and I love to eat quality things. So if I'm going to buy lobsters and shrimp and scallops, because I'm mostly a seafood and chicken. Every now and again I may have some red meat, but it's not too often. A burger, might have a steak once or twice a year. But again, I just feel like if I work quite a bit, and when it's time to buy, I'm buying.
Okay. Are there any last thoughts before we start wrapping up? Because we had till 6:30. Do you have another?
No.
Oh.
I was going to say, in terms of price challenge based on the folks who are in this room versus the wider community, there may be a disparity. Like our McDonald's just closed, which I've never heard of that happening anywhere. And the reason that was stated, that's right across the street from Dave's. So really for a large segment of our community that lives in that area that doesn't have transportation, that's like where they can go to get food. I think there's also a Giorgio's. But it actually closed, and the reason that was given was because people only ordered off of the dollar menu, and people weren't purchasing, like, I don't know, I haven't been to McDonald's in forever, but whatever that, $4 or $5 or whatever. So,
oh wait, do you have any last thoughts before we pass?
I'm just going to say that I just think that's an important perspective to have in the space, because we may have a different idea about what that price point is reflective of what the community that isn't here voicing their opinions may.
Okay.
And then in this area particularly, we have the largest portion in the city of Cleveland of seniors. And so that is the only place, especially from those apartment buildings, they can shop. And it was quite a productive McDonald's at that point. However, the management of that particular McDonald's chose not to invest in the neighborhood and invest in quality products. And they didn't have ice cream all summer. Now, what McDonald's would you go to that wouldn't have ice cream or yogurt? They didn't have it all summer. And those kinds of things is what he drove it into the ground in order to, and that he didn't have the quality of food, and he didn't keep up with the neighborhoods. You know, people want certain things, and he didn't have them there. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. You go.
I just wanted to ask this question of everybody here. Have you been in this area for a long time? Who's been here since they were a child? Okay. Who went to school here? Who worked in this area? To understand what Collinwood is today, as opposed to what it used to be, is the challenge. It's missing a lot. And those of us that have lived here for a while know what's missing. The landmarks, the stores. There was a time when you didn't have to leave Collinwood for anything. All you had to do was go a few blocks. We don't have that option anymore. We'd like to see that return. That includes places to shop for food. We need more variety. We would like to have it. This area was once self-sustaining. Let's have that return.
What do you think happened?
Economics is what happened. Is it more cost effective? And we just experienced that with the McDonald's on Lakeshore. Is it more cost effective to just close up shop and leave the area? You have big stores move in, they crowd out the mom and pop stores, okay? Because they want your business. But everyone here, I think, is old enough to understand. You get a more intimate experience with the small stores on the corner, the small stores in your neighborhood, okay? It has more of a family feel. Where is that now? That's why people are moving around trying to find satisfaction. What's the solution to it? I hear crickets in here.
Because and we are going to have to wrap up. So I mean, I think that's a really good thing, a really good question that Kevin asked, and maybe that's something that will prompt further discussion. From our perspective, we just wanted to thank you all for participating and coming here tonight. We owe you a round of applause. So if you have any other questions, we'll be around to talk. And so feel free. There's more cheese, fruit, and vegetables. Grab some. And again, thank you very much. We truly appreciate your time. Yeah, sure.
Well, my thing was that when you were speaking of small stores and family-owned stores, it's true, I have not been in the Collinwood neighborhood. My children grew up here from babies. So I can say, personally, I don't go in the corner stores. I just don't.
Not like they used to be. I know I wouldn't go.
Not now, and not too much then did I go into the corner stores. Maybe the one store that's on, what is it, Darley? Jennings. When my kids were very, very young. But now, no, I absolutely do not go in the corner stores. Okay. I just don't. I mean, that's just me.
Okay. All right. Again, yeah, thanks everybody. Feel free, hang out for a little bit and talk.